Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Tarot Juice. In this one, we're going to be discussing the energy forecast for air signs early to mid-June. If you don't know, Mercury is officially in retrograde, full force. This affects air signs on another level because you all live in the air element, which is all about the mental sphere, all about thoughts and communications and words and sharing knowledge and assimilating knowledge and receiving knowledge. So you all are especially affected by Mercury in retrograde. If you're a Gemini, you're especially affected by it because your ruling planet is Mercury. So let's see what's in store for you all during this Mercury in retrograde period, and let's see what tools will serve you best during this time of beautiful patience, introspection, and transformation. Okay, because that's essentially what Mercury in retrograde is all about. It's about taking a pause in life, taking account of what's going on, scanning what's working and what isn't, and knowing how to best use that scanning most productively to bring about change when Mercury in retrograde is over. So I always like to consider Mercury in retrograde as a cocoon phase, and the butterfly that you decide to be, or that you decide to transform into after this period of time, which officially ends, I believe, June 22nd, is entirely dependent on the choices that you make and what you decide to let go of during this period. So without further ado, let's get into it. I am going to begin with Gemini, the first air sign in the zodiac cycle, the sister sign of the Sagittarius, the sign of duality, the curious experience seeker. This is Gemini's competitive advantage, if you will, amongst the zodiac, is the ability to constantly be curious and have the energy and the ability to satisfy that curiosity. And those are two qualities that actually make any genius a genius, is having curiosity and then having the will to satisfy this curiosity so that you can move on to your next curiosity and satisfy that one, and so on and so forth. And that way you can assimilate a lot of data and a lot of knowledge, practical first-hand knowledge that will add to your toolbox of information, wisdom, and again, experience. So let's see what Gemini is going to. I already see a lot of flip-floppy energy, okay? And I mean, that's the general mood of Gemini, is to flip-flop from one extreme to the other. And so this Mercury in retrograde is just going to be a good idea for you to really notice your mood swings. Notice when you jump from one thing to another almost very dramatically, and it's going to be really up to you to find the balance between those two things. That when an extreme does pop up, when a moment of does pop up, how can you not attach to that, because you know that's not who you are. You know at the core of your being you are a balanced soul. So how and what can you do to get yourself from one extreme back to the center of the spectrum, okay? And it takes a lot of gradual work. It doesn't happen overnight, but it's gonna be all about committing to that journey and making sure that you strengthen those skills, right? That you strengthen the tools so that every time you do go to one extreme, it's easier to bounce back and come right back to the middle, okay? So that's what I'm getting right now for Gemini. There's going to be a lot of mood swings. Lots of mood, and mood swings that you're going to want to vocally express, right? Because you guys love to talk, and that's a great thing. You're social beings. You love to talk and share. You're curious, and you're curious about what other people think, and you know, you want to get people out of their comfort zones, and that's beautiful. But you also have to understand that during this period of time where everyone is on edge and everyone is going through their mental stuff, you can't force these conversations to happen, right? If someone doesn't want to talk, you have to just take a step back and understand that perhaps you're coming off too aggressively. All right, so let's see these cards that came up. Very good, very nice, very balanced. Okay, I love this. And it did touch upon a few of the things that I was just discussing prior to these cards coming up. I'm just going to shuffle a few more times. I'm going to see if anything wants to come up. But I have a feeling that this is it for now. We begin our journey. Yeah, I'm going to put these cards down. We begin our journey with a little bit of a feeling of celebration and triumph, okay? There were some conflicts that were happening around you, perhaps. There were some hardships, some things that you had to deal with that were taking its toll on you, but you succeeded. You're triumphant. You're coming back to your home base, feeling triumphant. You've conquered the war. You've won. And it's a time for quiet inner celebration, okay? Not necessarily a celebration to be had on a grand setting, but it's a very kind of intimate celebration, and it's a celebration of the self too. Okay, you have to celebrate yourself. You have to celebrate what you've gone through, what you've achieved. Celebrate the lessons that have come out of this experience, and this is really the stepping stone for you going into Mercury in retrograde. Maintain this sense of self-affirmation and self-cheerleading and self-congratulation, okay? Now is not a time for you to be looking for affirmation elsewhere except for yourself. You are a very independent being. You don't really need much. You don't really need much from other people. And to be quite honest, and this is something that you also have to be honest with yourself, not a lot of people can keep up with your momentum and can keep up with your energy. So to expect this of people, especially people that you love, people that you care about, people that you want to connect with, you have to be patient with them. You have to be slow with them. A lot of people are dealing with other things in other dimensions, whether that be in their mind, whether that be in their heart, whether that be literally, like they're just dealing with so many things. They can't keep up with how much energy you have. You're always riled up, right? You're like a puppy. You're always riled up. You're always ready to do something. You're always ready to go somewhere. You're always ready to talk about something. So start building that relationship with yourself. Every time you want to talk about something, talk to yourself about it. Every time you want to do something, just do it with yourself. Take yourself out on a date. Take yourself out on an excursion, or go to the event without a +1. Go, do what you need to do alone, and start building that independent nature. Because if you keep expecting to do things with other people, it's going to take away from a lot of the experiences that life wants to give you. Because you think that in this social paradigm that we have, it's a sign of weakness or a sign of loneliness to do things alone. It's not lonely, okay? Alone is all one. When you're alone, you have a chance to have conversations with the subtle energies and the energies that perhaps we can't see with our eyes, but that we can feel with our hearts and our brains. And we can only get to that level if we give ourselves the space to explore that, okay? And the reason why I'm saying this is because the next card that comes up is the 9 of Pentacles, okay? Again, notice how there's a figure who is alone. She is alone in terms of physically being alone, no human being around her, but look at how much her environment thrives with her. And her, again, is just the feminine energy, right? So even if you're a male, this still is talking about you just in your feminine sense, which is the sense of being and the sense of being still, and the sense of observing, and the sense of all that outward energy that you usually have. There's a lot of life happening within, right? That's the feminine. So notice how your feminine, or how your sense and state of being just with yourself is so strong and so independent, and it's bringing about a lot of life around you. There's a lot of abundance around you that really wants to connect with you, if you can give it the space and you can give yourself the space to connect with it. Again, on an independent sense. Very important here. The Nine of Pentacles is also a sign that right now life is good for you. Okay, you've built a lot of things for yourself on your own, and perhaps you're looking for affirmation for that, confirmation, someone to congratulate you. I return back to what I said earlier about be your own cheerleader. Start building that repertoire with yourself. Start prioritizing self-talk and self-cheerleading and self-advice. Go to yourself for advice. Go to yourself, because you're the only one who knows what you need. You're the only one who has the answers that can take you to the next level. Okay? But really take a moment to take in your surroundings. Notice everything that you built for yourself. Notice the power and the strength that lies in that. And also, have gratitude for all of that, and understand that your planet will always provide for you if you continue to build a conscious relationship with it, and with the higher energies and the subtle energies that be. You're not doing this alone. Maybe you are in a physical sense, but you are definitely not doing this alone. There are energies that are helping you out. Whether you want to admit that or not, whether you want to be conscious of that or not, they're there. They're pulling strings for you. They're doing things for you. It's time to honor them a little bit. Honor them, build that relationship a little bit, instead of being so keen on building relationships with physical beings that are lost and don't really have the capacity and the capabilities that you're looking for here. Okay? You have the capacity and the capability, and you have energies that are all around you. So it's time to honor them. Okay? And the way, how you gonna do that? How you gonna do that? How you gonna do that? Four of Swords, baby. Surrendering, meditating, taking the time to seclude yourself very intentionally and very thoughtfully. It's time to seclude yourself so you can start building the channel that you have with the higher planes. Okay, notice how he's holding a sword. Remember, the sword is the symbol of the word. So here he's holding the channel and the stream of thought that connects him to the axis mundi, which is the point between heaven and earth. So this is yet another affirmation or another sign to build a relationship with the subtle energies. And you can do that any way you want, okay? The strongest and most effective way to do that is meditation, which is very difficult for you, Gemini, who has a lot of energy and a lot of active energy, proactive energy. You're always needing to move. Your greatest healing is going to be in rooting yourself and just being still and noticing how fast your thoughts are moving and intentionally slowing it down by observing it. Because again, when our thoughts are very fast, it's very easy to attach ourselves to these thoughts, right? And then it's very easy to project these thoughts out into reality. And not all the thoughts that we have are conducive to a healthy environment and a healthy life. Okay, we have both positive and negative thoughts in our mind. And it's the act of meditation that trains us to identify and discern between what is a positive thought that should be expressed and what is a negative thought that should be kept silent so that it doesn't receive energy from you. So you would benefit so much from taking a pause and meditating. And if you find meditating very difficult, that's the first step. So notice that. When we go to the gym for the first time, we are overwhelmed. We don't know where to start. We don't know where to go. We don't know if we're progressing. We don't know if we're doing well. But the point is that we're going. And it's going to get easier over time. So it's just a muscle that we have to build in the mind, just like the muscles we have to build in our body. It's very important here. Your soul is craving connection with the higher planes. Whether you can sense that or not, whether you can feel that or not, I'm letting you know here that Source wants to communicate with you, but perhaps you're not allowing it to because you're kind of distracted by wanting to connect with Source and other human beings. I hope that makes sense. When we connect with human beings, when we, I don't want to use the word infatuated, but when we're intrigued by another human being, we're not really intrigued by them per se. We're intrigued by the source within them, the God within them, what they're choosing to project out through their creator, right? So it's just when we're intrigued by someone, it's a good mental exercise to identify what it is that we're intrigued by in terms of the qualities and the characteristics, and then to try to bring about those qualities and characteristics within ourselves. And we do that through self-work, through inner work. So that would be a really good lesson for you here during this Mercury in retrograde. You know, a good tool for you is to notice the people that you enjoy connecting with in life, whether they be new people, whether they be people that you've been around for a while. Notice the specific qualities that you like about them. And understand that those are qualities that your own soul wants you to acquire within yourself to become more whole, so that you don't have to keep depending on these people to bring it about in you. Okay? I hope that makes sense. So, meditate. In any form or shape, meditate. You know, journaling, literally sitting down in lotus pose and closing your eyes and just being the observer of your mind. I do this practice every day, and it really helps ground me. But I'm a Sagittarius. We love to do that. But I am your sister sign, so there's something in there for you too. Singing, anything where you can tune out of the physical and go within yourself and retreat within yourself without feeling ADD about it, okay? And then once you finally start building on that skill and that tool, oh my God, you become the Queen of Wands. You become someone who inspires just by existing. And perhaps the Queen of Wands is also referring to someone in your life who inspires with just their presence and their creativity and their passion for life. And perhaps that's what you need to draw upon. Notice the people who fill you up with vigor and passion and who make you excited about living, and start to really understand what it is about them that helps them bring that about. Okay, because again, the Queen, you're a very masculine force, Gemini. And when I say masculine, what does that mean? You're a very proactive, a doer, always becoming the next thing. And when you want to balance that energy out by just being and observing, and there's a lot of power, and there's a lot that you can bring about as well by letting the universe be the masculine force and you be the feminine counterpart of just observing it and being in gratitude and receiving rather than always giving, right? You guys are givers. You love to give. Receive now. It's time to receive. It's time to take in all that you've been giving out. That's just how the universe works. That's the reciprocity, okay? You can't just be givers all the time. You have to learn how to receive, how to ask for help, and whether that be asking human beings for help or asking the subtle energies that be, asking your creator, asking your angels, whoever it is that you decide to converse with. It's time to ask them for help, okay? Because they are there willing to help you out. And by the end of Mercury in retrograde, you will notice how much more attractive your frequency is, and how much more it's going to bring about people who are passionate about the things that you're passionate about life in general, creative, living life for the sake of living it, not just walking around surviving, but living, lighting up the fires of other people. That's really the point of life here, okay? And I know that's what you want to do, Gemini. You guys love to help. You love to help people, but you can best help and serve people if you are serving yourself first and lighting up your fire first. So let me summarize this for you. During this Mercury retrograde period, you're coming back from some conflicts that you've been experiencing, and it's a moment of very good self-celebration, okay, and self-contemplation, self-cheerleading, self-affirmation. That's going to be a great tool for you every day if you could self-affirm. Remember, when we self-affirm, we use the phrase I am, okay, because that affirms it in the present moment. We don't say I want to be, we don't say I ask for, I should, we say I am, okay? I am observant, I am still, I am receiving, I am comfortable with asking for help. All of these things, okay? I am, very powerful phrase. And this is going to help you really understand that you are naturally a very independent figure who doesn't need another physical being to balance them out. And it's more about identifying the qualities in these beings that we are attracted to in any form or shape, and to bring about those qualities within ourselves. And the best way to do that is through contemplative practice, meditation, yoga, any kind of working out where you can tune into your physical body, get away from your mind a little bit, so that we don't project our thoughts too much out and act upon them. We want to make sure that we conserve that energy and let the subtle energies around us deal with things for us for a change, so that we don't have to feel like we're always in control. And you're going to be a very inspirational figure by the end of all this, okay? And we're just going to leave it at that. I think we've said a good amount for you, Gemini. Just like you like to talk, you make me like to talk too. All right, now we are moving on to Libra, the balancers, the scale. Those who those who take all of the information and all of the experiences that the Gemini practically collects, and you weigh the scale to understand which of these are productive and which of these are just not it. And that's your greatest power. You're able to identify what works and what doesn't, for yourself and for other people, right? And you guys love to help other people too, in terms of this is working and this isn't working. And I hope you can understand me, because whether I am conscious of it or not, I know what you need for balance. This is the Libra. You guys love to balance us out. Also a very social being too, but you thrive in social settings when you yourself are balanced. So really notice what it is that's throwing you off balance right now, that isn't allowing you to be that social force that you usually are, okay? And I'm not, during this Mercury retrograde, I'm not saying that you need to be a social force, but it's time to identify what it is that's out of balance in your system, that's preventing you from helping others balance themselves, okay? That's the most important thing for you here. Whether that be substances that you're taking, that perhaps you're convincing yourself that these substances or the food that you're taking in is actually helping you. It's helping you in the short term, right? Through instant satisfaction and gratification and the familiarity and the comfort of these things, but they're not really helping you in the long term. They're just adding a lot more density to your body, rather than allowing you to be free allowing you to be light. And you need to be light, okay? The soul is as delicate and light as a feather. In ancient Egyptian mythology, when the soul of a dead person is being weighed, they weighed in a scale where they put the heart of a person and a feather on the other side. And if the feather is lighter than the heart, we have a problem. The heart needs to be as light as the feather. So it's really all about getting away from density, dense substances, dense foods, dense drinks, going back to high vibrational eating and drinking, staying away from not substances per se, but indulging in substances on a regular basis, because it helps you cope, perhaps. And then finally, we're just gonna leave it at that. We're gonna see what the cards say. Ba-doom, ba-doom. All right, so there's a lot of change for you in your career that's gonna be coming up, either during this Mercury in retrograde phase or right after the Mercury in retrograde. There's a lot that you need to do, again, to rebalance and revisit your soul and your path and what it is that you're really setting yourself out to do. That's going to bring about all of these changes, okay? So we start with the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is all about hoarding, whether that be physical hoarding, whether that be hoarding your resources, money, skills, gifts. You know, those are resources. You're a resource in your own creative process. So there's a lot of not sharing yourself that you're doing. You're not sharing yourself enough so that the universe can match what you're giving in terms of energy, so that you can, you know, build that momentum moving forward, right? There's a lot of rooted, grounded energy, which is great. There's a lot of abundance around you, which is great. So there's no need to be in a survival mode or in a mode of stockpiling. We need to start sharing what we have, whether that be our voice, our skills, our talents, our literal money resource. We need to start sharing that with whoever needs it around us, because it's just no use stockpiling. It's no use. It gives a sense of comfort, right? When you have everything that you need or all around you. It makes you feel comfortable. It makes you feel like you're taken care of. But remember, we are human beings and we take care of each other. And a lot of people need what you have to give. Whether you are secure enough to give it, whether, you know, there are some insecurities that you're dealing with that's not really allowing you to bring that about. It's time to bring that about. It's time to remember that in you, that you are, again, the great balancer. So allow yourself to share yourself, your thoughts, your words, your gifts, your talents. People need you. And that's what's gonna allow you to receive again. That's what's going to allow you to get the ball rolling again, is just by literally do. And the biggest thing for you now is you're in that brainstorm planning phase, the Two of Wands. Okay, you are getting ready for a journey. You are setting out to do something. You know what it is that you have your sights on. The energy is out there to help you, and it's wanting to ground, but it can only ground if you, again, go back to your mastery, the Nine of Wands. You have very strong instincts in you, and you have strong instincts in you right now that are speaking to you, that are trying to remind you of all of the things that you are capable of and all of the things that you really want to do. And perhaps this density that I was talking about from whatever coping mechanism that you keep going back to, this density is what's preventing you from doing this, because it's making you a little lethargic. It's making you a little, again, like the energy's a little heavy and it needs to be cleared up. So whether you want to do a smudging ceremony for yourself, which is, you know, the burning of herbs and incense and sage, but not just burning it, right? It doesn't work to just burn it. You have to burn it with the intention of clearing the density, okay? Remember, we live in a quantum world. It's not just the experiment, it's whoever is conducting the experiment that allows the outcome to occur, right? How we want it to occur. So you yourself, when you're doing the smudging ceremony, you have to have the intention of, I cut out the clutter, I declutter my own energy from the negativity, I cut the density and the lethargy, and I am a light being who is balanced. And you smudge your space. Notice the lightness that you feel and the little motivation that starts to seep in again. And then start to prioritize the voices in your mind and the messages that you receive intuitively in your mind that are productive and that want you to be productive again. And you start small. You start small. That's how we rebuild our relationship with our intuition, is we start small. The small things in the day, whether that be waking up, tidying the space, eating better foods, drinking more water, you know, prioritizing these things, moving the body a little bit, shaking the body up, changing the space up if the space needs to be changed. These are the things that we need to focus on, okay? Because look, you have to keep going. There's a lot that is trying to keep you away from what you need to do because of how grand what you need to do is and how important what you need to do is. This is just the law of polarity. This is just what we deal with. When there is something so important for us to do, there's a lot that's trying to keep us away from it, okay? So this is really your goal here during Mercury in retrograde, is to tune back into your intuition. I'm getting third eye, right? Tune back into your third eye. Do third eye exercises, okay? When you meditate, you close your eyes, you literally force your eyes to gaze to your pineal and your pituitary gland right here in the middle, and it forms a triangle, and this triangle is very healing. This is the apex of your pyramid within your body, okay? And this builds the channel that connects upwards towards the higher dimensions and towards the messages that you are naturally and intuitively receiving. Okay? Start with these exercises first. Rebuild your relationship with your intuition. This is the most important thing for you. And the universe, once you do that, will gift you with opportunities. You don't even have to look for it. It's gonna come and find you. And it's gonna be there, okay? You're gonna get new opportunities in your career, or in, you know, just projects. Maybe even if it's not the career that you're trying to build, there are gonna be opportunities around you that are gonna help you get back on track, okay? And you're gonna notice a lot of the gifts that you have within yourself that are yearning for expression again, that want you to express these things. They really want you to express it, okay? They're hungry for it. Look how abundant and how lively nature is around you. That's the relationship that the earth has with you right now. There's a lot of abundance, there's a lot of growth, there's a lot of potential for using your energy that's within you and making it kinetic. And we're talking small scale here. We don't have to rush ourselves and go for the big scale stuff just yet. It's just about rebuilding the connection to the intuition. And then doors will open. Doors will just open. You will get opportunities. You will. Once Mercury in retrograde is over, you will get opportunities. And it's up to you to open that door. It's up to you. Because the opportunities will be there whether you like it or not, whether you admit it or not, whether you're conscious of it or not. But if we're not in a state of mind where we can identify these opportunities because we're so caught up in our density and how heavy things feel, we won't be able to have the energy to put into these projects or to put into these opportunities that are gonna come up, and the door is just gonna stay closed, okay? But These doors are opening up for you. And really take the next 2-3 weeks until June 22nd to rebuild a healthy relationship with yourself, to rebuild healthy habits, to rebuild productive habits that are going to take you where you want to go, because you want to go there. It's not like you don't want to do this. This is for you, Libra. Okay? There's a lot of speed with Libra. Things happen quickly for Libra. But if there's too much, if it's too heavy, the energy is too heavy, you can't get there. Okay? I keep seeing a gazelle just running forward, just running towards their goal. And that's you, Libra. Just run. You got to run with it. But you can only start running if you have the energy to run with it. An athlete can only perform if they put into their system and their physical body the most optimal substances that can be translated and transmuted into energy, right? Good energy, energy that can be used for such things. So, in summary, stop hoarding yourself. Stop hoarding. Okay, you have a lot to share and you have a lot to give the world. You have a lot to give yourself too. You don't need to hold on to it for dear life. It's not going to go anywhere. It's safe. And the goals and the achievements that you have, that you've set out for yourself, they're out there for you. They're out there and they're waiting for you to just start walking the path. And the path for you right now that you have to walk, you have to go through the jungle. And you have to rebuild your intuition. And your intuition is going to tell you what is poisonous for your system, what is healthy for your system, what's going to give you good energy, what's going to set you back a couple of days. You already know this. You already know what you need to do. And it's also important that you do a smudging ceremony and a smudging session for yourself, okay? With the intention of cutting out the negative, cutting out energies that don't serve you, resetting the energy to neutral so that you can start thinking clearly again. It's really that you can't really discern between the thoughts that are helping you and the thoughts that are making you comfortable. And then all of a sudden you're going to notice all of the productive things and all of the good messages that are waiting for you. All of your gifts, all of your talents that need to be shared. You're going to rediscover them with new vigor, with new life. And once those doors open for you, the doors of opportunity, and they will, whether you know it or not, whether you're in a space to see it or not, once those doors open, you will be ready to keep them open and to walk through. Any opportunity that tantalizes you, that intrigues you, that makes you excited, you go for it. You don't second guess yourself. And you prioritize the mechanisms that help you get there, not the mechanisms that make you feel comfortable. Okay, Libra? I'm going to leave it at that. I don't want to talk too much. I think we've said it all. Farewell, Libra. Rebuild that intuition that is so strong inside of you. It's just a matter of rebuilding that muscle, like any other muscle. And because it's already strong in you, I give it a week and you're going to be back on track. As long as within that week you stick to the course and you don't stray. Okay, Libra, goodbye. Aquarius. Aquarius. Beautiful, beautiful sign is the Aquarius. Sign of neutrality. Sign of equality. A sign that is so ahead of its time that it makes it so difficult to live in this world that is so controlled by power-hungry energies. Makes it very difficult to live life because you are so free and you're so giving with your knowledge. But there aren't a lot of people who are ready to receive the knowledge that you have because it's so ahead of its time. So don't let that discourage you, okay? It's just about rebuilding again. It's about building that connection with yourself, to share this information with yourself, and to give yourself the space to create. So instead of telling people, you show them, right? I don't know if you've heard of this before. Show, don't tell. It's not about telling people what you see. It's about showing them what you see through your art, through your creativity. Because again, it's very hard to get through to people with words, very futuristic concepts, right? And futuristic concepts come to you very quickly. You guys, you all Aquariuses, are the foundation layers of the new paradigm, right? I don't know if you've heard about us moving into the age of Aquarius on a cosmic scale, but all that means is we're moving into an age where power is crumbling, where control is crumbling, where everyone is understanding that they are equal to everyone else, and you guys are the forefathers and the foremothers of that, okay? And you have to show people that through your connection to creativity, to the source within you, to the creator within you. And you have to give yourself space to create. I see a lot of good things already. Let's see if any other cards want to come out. And then we're going to get right into it. Keep looking at the sky. It's the first time I'm looking at the sky during this reading. You gotta keep building that paradigm. Oh, beautiful. You gotta keep building the idea of heaven, an idea of paradise that you see in your mind and your heart so clearly. You have to keep bringing that into our planet because we need you. So the biggest thing I'm getting for you during this Mercury in retrograde phase is to get specific and really identify what that paradise looks like. Get specific so that you know what it is that you're bringing about, instead of just going to anything that stimulates you, or going putting your energy into anything that makes you a little excited, but then there's that vagueness, there's that lack of specificity that doesn't give you a clear direction. Okay, it's very important for you, Aquarius. Okay. Oh my God, there's so much energy. Oh my God. Oh, the Aquarius card came up too. This is beautiful. This is why I'm feeling so good about you, Aquarius. You're doing good things. You're doing great things. I'm so excited for your journey, Aquarius. Wow. Okay, so just gonna get right into it. We begin with the Page of Wands. You've been sent energy. There's something recently, whether you can identify it or not, that's made you really motivated for life again. It's made you so excited again. You're passionate, you're intrigued, you're curious, you're going for it. It's making you a little ungrounded, okay, because of how excited you are again, that you have this sense of motivation to do and to move and you're excited, and it's great, and we want to stay there. We want to stay there. And this is also coming about after having a sort of conflict, or after having hardships in your life. And this is coming about because you've succeeded in these conflicts, and you've succeeded in whatever it is that you were dealing with, and you're coming back now with that sense of accomplishment and with that sense of success and triumph, and you're feeling good about yourself, and you're feeling good about all the things that you're doing. You're feeling good about the energy that you're feeling, and it's allowing you to get closer to that light, right? To get even closer to awareness. And awareness is the biggest thing for you here. And I see celebration happening for you. Like, not only did we get the Six of Wands, which is all about, you know, coming back from a journey, coming back from hardships, and, you know, being able to finally take that rest that you need after some sort of war that was happening. But then the Four of Wands also shows up, which is the major card for celebration. And this is celebration on a public setting, right? Celebrating with friends, celebrating with family, celebrating with your close, intimate group. Finally, this is also I always consider this card to be a fairy portal. So this is a portal that you're also connecting with, that is allowing you to build and celebrate with the invisible world, right? The mythological creatures that we consider mythological and not real. When they're actually real, they just live in different dimensions. And you, Aquarius, can understand this. I'm talking about fairies here. And they're working with you. You have a team that's working with you. You are accessing higher portals of being through your creative work, through your creativity. I'm getting energy just rushing all over my back because of how powerful this connection is that you have. And what's important here, you have one thing, okay? There's only one thing that's gonna take away from this connection that you're building, and it's talking to people about it. Not everybody, but talking to most people about it, because most people, like I said, cannot understand the future that you see in your mind, which is the veil that is thinning, and the invisible world that you see so visibly, right? All these energies and these fairies and these angels and source and all of that. It's so strong for you right now. And you just got to keep maintaining that, and you got to keep celebrating with those energies and celebrate with the fear. We got an insect that just decided to land here. It's a small one, right? But it's probably a messenger from the other world. Find the people that you can share this information with safely in your life. And that could be only one person. That could be no person, and that's okay too. That could just be yourself. But Aquarius, it's time to protect that energy and to preserve it so that other people don't make you feel crazy about it, or that they don't make you feel crazy in general, okay? Because what is happening is this. You got the star. This is your card, Aquarius. You are returning home. A lot of you might generally feel like you don't belong anywhere, or that none of this makes sense to you, because you know a time and you live a time of unity and harmony and magic, okay? Magic, pure magic. And you're returning back to that. You're returning back home. Not literally, but like I said, right, that paradise that you have to be so specific about, you're bringing that into your physical reality. It's living right now in the energetic spheres, and you're bringing that into the physical. And it's so important for you to maintain this journey, to keep creating, to keep pouring your soul into your creative work, into your passions, and specifically to bring about these images that you see into the physical world in whatever form you can bring it about, okay? Whether that be through dancing. I'm getting dancing for a lot of you. Whether that be through, again, singing, sculpting, painting, throat chakra clearing too. I'm hiccuping. Whether that be through, like I was saying, sketching, painting, journaling, just drawing the symbols and the images that you see. Images are very powerful. Symbols are very powerful, and they carry a lot of energy in them, okay? Remember, a picture is worth 1,000 words. It's not necessary that we speak here, because a lot of people won't be able to identify with what we say, but it's important to translate the images that we see so that people can connect with that art. And people need that art right now, okay? And what's gonna happen for you? Your wings, your angel wings are just gonna spread, and you're gonna fly. And you're gonna fly in the best sense possible, okay? And life is gonna throw some curveballs at you, because it's gonna test your will. And it's gonna test how committed you are to this paradise that you're building on earth right now for the rest of us. Remember, you are the leaders. You are the way showers. We are depending on you, Aquarius, to light the way for us and to show the way, because we are lost and you already know what we're looking for. But you have to be committed to that without having people cheer you on or affirm you. They can't do that because they don't see what you see. You're the leader. You have to help us see what you see. No one else can do that, Aquarius. So this card is very specific. This is not a traditional tarot card. This card is only part of the Prisma Visions tarot deck that I'm using, and it's called the Winged Boar. And the message of this is sometimes pigs do fly. So sometimes you have to consider the impossible possible. And it's just a way to keep you on your toes, okay? So you, Aquarius, you are the leaders here. So lead. Do what you need to do to keep your fire lit inside of you. Find the people who you can trust to help you lead this. Because there are people around you who understand what it is that you see without seeing it, because they trust in your vision. And Mercury in retrograde for you is going to be all about building that confidence within you to trust in what you see. Remember, it's not that you don't have confidence. Everyone has confidence. It's that you are confident in perhaps not trusting, right? You're confident in not trusting the messages that you receive. Now it's time to be confident in trusting them, Aquarius. You, in summary, I have to just put this in summary now because it's really up to you here. You have a lot of energy that is radiating inside out. And you're coming back from a lot of conflicts that you've had in life, where you've had to really prove yourself, or you've had to really justify yourself, or you've had to really put yourself out on a limb to try to convince people that what you see and what you feel is real, when in truth, the only person that you need to prove yourself to is you. You're the only person that you need to come back to and say, this is real, believe me. Because you have to show. You don't have to tell anymore. You just have to show people. Show people what you see. Show people what you feel. Show people the paradise that you keep seeing in your mind. The heaven that needs to be built on this chaotic hell that we're living in right now. Okay? And you do that through celebration. Celebrate. Celebrate your work. Celebrate your life. Access the portals that you are accessing through your creative work. It's opening up higher dimensions for you. Remember to also protect your energy, because the more you light up, the more lower astral beings are going to want to come and feed off of your life force. So it's very important here to also start a banishment ritual or a protective ritual, where you just simply affirm protection all around you in all directions, north, south, west, and east. It's important to honor all four directions. That's why we get the Four of Wands too, okay? So in the morning, you just face the south and move eastward, northward, westward. It's very important here. You are pouring a lot of energy out into the earth, a lot of knowledge out into the earth, and it's a garden is blooming based on what you're giving it. And because of all of this, you're gonna fly. You're gonna rise. So please trust in this journey, okay? Please trust in this journey, and trust in yourself to be the leader. Be the leader. Be the leader. Don't wait for someone to tell you to do what you need to do. You are the leader who tells yourself what you need to do. You are the leader who needs to show us what we're missing out on, Aquarius. I'm gonna leave it at that, okay? Thank you all so much for joining me once again. Air signs, you need to trust your intuition, man, woman. You need to trust your intuition so that we can start trusting you. Because if you don't trust yourself, we can't trust you. We feel your doubt. But you're the leaders, you're the way showers here. So really take the time during this Mercury in retrograde to rebuild your intuition and to rebuild the relationship with yourself, the confidence that you have with yourself, to self-affirm. Thank you all so much for joining me. Let's revisit this journey again after Mercury in retrograde is over, and let's see what's going to be in store for you when, again, Mercury reverts back to its normal orbit and life starts to move forward again. Blessings to you all. Blessings on this journey. And let's see what's up in the weeks to come. Thank you all so much.